Also, I'm going to try and give some advice as well in this episode, whether it's acceptable to ghost or not. And if you think it is, in like what situations it is acceptable to ghost. I'm going to share my ghosting story, what happened to me and what I think about it. That's probably all we're going to talk about, which I feel like that kind of covers. He completely ghosted me. He ghosted me. Facts. Like, if you are ghosting and not communicating, like, you don't have those communication skills. Like, we just gotta deal. Like, it's just life, you know? We have to be open and communicate, you know? It is not nice hurting people. What to do if you are the one that has been ghosted. And also, if you're a ghoster and you're listening to this right now, I'm gonna give you some advice as well. Welcome back to the Pink Juice podcast. I am so freaking excited for this episode because it's going to be a juicy one. Like, today I am spilling all the juice on the topic of ghosting when dating people, which is a topic I feel like I have been discussing with a lot of people recently. So I'm so excited to bring it to the pod because it also just recently happened to me, guys. So you're going to have to just hear my juicy side of the story. If you're listening right now, first of all, thank you so much for listening to episode number 2, but also every single one of us at some point has either been ghosted or has done the ghosting. And if you haven't, you're a liar. Like, genuinely, I think you're lying because it has become something that way too many people do and think it's okay to just do willy-nilly. And I feel very strongly about ghosting. So yeah, it's a topic that's just been on my mind recently. So in this episode, I'm going to talk about, well, what actually is ghosting, definition of ghosting, situations where you might ghost people, why people ghost, whether it's acceptable to ghost or not. And if you think it is, in like what situations it is acceptable to ghost. I'm going to share my ghosting story, what happened to me and what I think about it. That's probably it. That's probably all we're going to talk about, which I feel like that kind of covers ghosting as a whole. So let's get into it. Also, I'm going to try and give some advice as well in this episode of what to do if you are the one that has been ghosted. And also, if you're a ghoster and you're listening to this right now, I'm going to give you some advice as well. So what actually is ghosting? Ghosting is basically like, you know, when you're dating or you're trying to speak to someone and you're texting and then all of a sudden that the other person just completely stops all communication. That is basically ghosting. Or if they haven't responded to you without an explanation, like that is actually ghosting. And yes, sometimes I do think conversations fizzle out on both ends, but if you have been, especially if you have met up with that person and then you continue the conversation and they randomly just stop replying without telling you why, then that is ghosting. Okay, so my thoughts on ghosting right now is like, regardless of whatever reason you do it, I think so many people have just got used to thinking it's okay to ghost. It's like we almost forget that there is a person on the other side of that actually deserves to be communicated to. So something happened to me recently. I'm going to share. It's time to share. This is the first episode. The dating stories are coming out, which, by the way, I feel like I don't even have that many because I don't go on that many dates. I think I've got more flights this year than dates, like genuinely. I think I've took more flight. Yeah, I definitely have. I have not had that many dates. But I recently went on a date. It was a nice date. It was a really nice guy. It was a great date. And then we were kind of planning on meeting up again and going on a date number 2. And then we're just talking. And then randomly, he doesn't message me for 2 weeks. Nada. He completely ghosts me. He ghosted me. And I was just like, okay, I'm not interested in a type of man who cannot communicate to me that he has no intention of whatever. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why he ghosted me, but I have no intention of associating myself with a man who ghosts me, because to me, that's like, why are you not communicating? Like, if you are not interested in me, tell me. I would rather you communicate that with me. Communication is so important to me. And if you are the one doing the ghosting, to me, that is like, you are not someone that is able to communicate, period. Like, facts. Like, I think that people ghost is because they just want to avoid doing something that's uncomfortable. Like it is, yes, it's so uncomfortable telling someone like, hey, I'm not interested in you. Hey, I don't want to see you again, or whatever the reason is, we're not aligned, you know? Like it is uncomfortable to say that because essentially you're rejecting the other person, but it doesn't leave that person wondering where they stand with you. And I think that is the main thing about ghosting. Is like when you ghost, the other person is then like, well, where do I stand with that person? Like, I don't know the reason for them ghosting me or them not wanting to see me further. And I think human beings deserve to know that. So I've done some digging and I've been reading some articles on like Google, reading some research papers and stuff like that, which by the way, if I do quote anything in this episode, I am going to link it in the description below so that you don't think I'm just making things up. I have actually read things, I promise. Not hundreds and hundreds of things, but I have read things. And there are a few reasons why people actually ghost. Number one, I feel like I've already talked about, but they just do not have communication skills. Facts. Like if you are ghosting and not communicating, like you don't have those communication skills. How can you, if someone at the beginning of a relationship when you're dating is not able to communicate with you honestly and openly, then how can you then get into a relationship with that person? Like the whole relationship is just like going to be a mess because you're not able to communicate early on. And to me, that is such a red flag personally. So if you have been ghosted, you need to ask yourself the question and remind yourself, do you actually want to engage with a person who is not able to sit down and have a proper conversation with me or is not able to talk openly about those things, you know? And if you're thinking about ghosting, like you actually need to also just check yourself as well and like think, well, am I just like, why are you not replying to that person? Like, why are you not communicating with that person? Are you ghosting because it's uncomfortable for you? Or are you ghosting because it's like you're trying to avoid it? Like, why? What is the reason why you're ghost? Yeah, like you need, if you're a ghoster, like you need to just check yourself and be like, why am I doing this? And don't approach it with like shame, just curiosity about like your own behavior and your actions. Because like we need to remember there is a human being at the end of the line. And like if you're just trying to avoid hurting that person, then like that is also, I get it. Like I get why you wouldn't want to hurt the other person's feelings, but then it's down to that person to make sure that they have the tools and ability to deal with that rejection. You know, like I am very blessed and fortunate that I have developed a lot of those skills throughout my relationships and experiences with men over the past few years that have allowed me to deal with a situation where someone is ghosting me. I don't see that as a reflection of me. I see that very much as a reflection of them and what they're capable of, communicating or not. So I'm blessed that I have those tools, but someone might not, and that might be very, very hurtful to the other person, way more than actually you saying, you know what, this isn't aligned with me. Glad we had a nice time. All the best. Like that person then knows that where they stand with you, of course they're going to probably be hurt in both situations, but at least they know they can move on, right? Reason number two why people ghost is they don't want to hurt someone's feelings, which again, I get, but like we just got to deal. Like it's just life, you know, we have to be open and communicate, you know? It is not nice hurting people, but it is also not nice to ignore people. That also hurts them. So you've got to pick your choice. Which way do you want to hurt them, basically? Wow, that sounds so savage. Like, how do you want to hurt this person? But like, inevitably, like, we're all human beings. Like, feelings of sadness we're just going to experience. Like, it's on the spectrums of emotions. We can't, like, people just deserve explanation and answers. Also, it's about how you say it. Like, say that oh my God, someone like you this person makes you really uncomfortable. Like they have a really big toe or something like that. And you're just like, oh my God, whatever. I don't know. I just can't, it's making me feel uncomfortable. They're not the person for me. Like you're not going to say that to them because that's obviously going to hurt them feelings, but you can just be vague and just be like, this isn't what I'm looking for. This isn't aligned with me right now. Cool, job done. Like you don't have to be specific and say the reason exactly why you are not wanting to speak to them, but give them some sort of explanation, especially if you have met up with them. And I do actually think there is a big difference where you've gone on a date with someone and then you continue to speak after and then you ghost them versus you've just been speaking for a day or two on a dating app. But yeah, don't leave people in the dark. Like, come on. And reason number 3 why people ghost is it's actually become the new normal, which I think has come from, in fact, it definitely has, in my opinion, come from online dating and dating apps, right? We just like swipe. So most of us are probably handling multiple conversations at once. So if you've started speaking to someone and like you're not really feeling it, it's not engaging, like you are likely probably going to ghost that person and just drop that conversation and continue with your conversation with someone that has hooked you in and that you are curious about. And I feel like we have almost become this society that is like, people are just disposable, you know? That has almost translated into other situations. And I think a lot of people think, well, it's okay if I ghost them on a dating app. Well, it's no big deal if I ghost them after going on a date with them. But actually, like if someone has given you your time and energy, and also if you have given time and energy into like meeting someone and investing that into them, you owe it to not just that person, but yourself to prove to yourself, you know what, I can handle these situations, even though they're uncomfortable. I can be a good communicator. And that's only just going to set you up for success in your future relationship. But yeah, I feel like dating apps have made this like ghosting is almost like the default way to end a relationship these days. And in all honesty, I do actually think it is a lot more acceptable in the dating app situation. And I do it, although it is something I'm trying to do less of. I feel like naturally conversations, if you haven't met someone, they fizzle out on both ends, especially if it's just been like small talk. If you're kind of like planning to meet up with the person and you're not feeling it, I actually used to do that. I used to just ghost the person, ignore them. But recently I've started saying this like, oh my God, no, like how can I be so against ghosting? But then I'm ghosting these people myself. So I'm currently in Thailand and dating here is very different than dating at home because people come and go. Like I'm here for a few months and people come and go. It's very transient. So a lot of people are like, let's meet up. You speak to someone for a day and then they're like, let's meet up for a coffee. Let's meet up for a drink. And then it's like, oh, but I'm leaving the day after. So for me, I've kind of started saying, sounds great, but I'm actually looking to make more connections with people here that are here long term. The old me would have actually probably just ghosted that person because I thought, you know what, you're not aligned with me. I'm not going to see you. You're going to leave again. And I probably would have just ignored it, even if we've been communicating for a while. But the new me now is I'm actually trying to communicate that because you have to practice what you preach. And this is something I'm becoming aware of. Like, yeah, you have to practice what you preach. So yeah, in a nutshell, I think if you haven't met the person, you've only kind of been communicating in the online world, it is more acceptable for sure, I will say. It's definitely more acceptable. But if you've met up with someone, I think it's just like disrespectful to not give that other person explanation. But I'm also so curious. Like I need to, right now, I'm so shocked that I'm having so many conversations with people and they're just like, yeah, ghosting's just easier. I'm like, yeah, it's easier, but like that does not mean it's the right thing to do. Like, have we just become this society that we're just like dispose of people left, right, and center after they've given them their time and energy into us? Like, I just can't wrap my head around it personally. But it is a topic I feel very strongly about, and I feel like, oh, these are just the sort of things I want to talk about on these podcast episodes because they're so interesting. Yeah, I just feel like you owe it to them. You owe it to yourself to just be like, you know what, I am a good communicator. I'm going to tell this person they're not aligned with me. It's going to suck. Maybe I will hurt their feelings. And that's that. Like I also, for me, I'm very much like, I've got to practice what I preach. And also, I'm not afraid of being ghosted. Like, if it happens to me, especially early on, it's like a blessing in disguise because I don't want to then enter a relationship with that person and then find out that they can't communicate with me on like a basic level, you know? I don't know. Those are the 3 reasons why people ghost, basically, as conducted in research science papers. I don't know the names of the researchers right now, but like I say, if you're interested in this topic, I'm going to link them below because I do have them saved. I just don't know all the names off the top of my head. Now, what do you do if after some time the ghost reappears? Because they always fucking do. Like, especially these men. Like, men always reappear. Like, they always do. The reason I actually wasn't going, when I planned this podcast episode, it was actually a few days ago, I wasn't going to talk about this. But then guess what happened? The guy who ghosted me reappeared. So he literally messaged me on a random Saturday at like 4 p.m. like, hey, have you got any plans this evening? I'm like, it's the evening now. It's 4 p.m., pretty much evening. You're bored, you're lonely, you've got nothing to do. It's convenient for you. You'll probably just want to see me again. Without addressing the fact that you just haven't spoken to me for 2 weeks. So the old me would have just been like, I'm someone who is anxiously attached. So I feel that the old me would have just been like, either, I don't actually know. I think she would have responded in two ways. She would have either avoided it because she would have been too triggered to deal with it. Or she would have just been like, yeah, I'm free. Let's see each other. Oh, he wants to see me. He's giving me a crumb. I'm going to take it. Thinking there's a freaking loaf behind that crumb, and there isn't. But I was just like, I asked him, I was like, I'm just curious. Like, what? Like, why? Why haven't I heard from you for 2 weeks? And he just gave me some lame excuse like he was busy. I'm like, okay, what do you mean you're busy? Like, it takes 2 seconds to text. I feel like it's 2025. We cannot use this excuse of you're too busy to, like, I get it. Okay, sometimes we don't all have capacity to continue conversations going, especially if they're just like small talk vibes. But like, it doesn't take long to message someone like, hey, I'm sorry, I've been busy. That takes 2 seconds. Like, I'm not expecting for you to, anyway. But yeah, sometimes they reappear and they might have a valid reason. This person, I felt like had such a lame reason. I think they just wanted to see me because they were bored and they were convenient and they were trying, it was convenient for them and they were trying their luck. But again, like I say, I'm very blessed and fortunate. I have developed this bank of skills that I am capable of dealing with that situation now, this particular situation. I'm not sure the old me would have been able to. This is just my personal opinion, by the way. I just think if you want to be a person that wants to be a good communicator, you want a relationship, you are looking for the right person, I think you owe it to yourself to reply and to display that skill of, you know what, I'm going to set my boundaries straight and I'm going to practice communicating. And for me, that was that case. You know, at the end of the day, also, that he's a human being too. The ghost is a human being. So be willing to hear them out, whatever reason they have, whether it's a good reason, bad reason. Like, sometimes maybe they do have a genuine or a valid reason. Like, I don't know, whatever it is, but maybe they do. And we're all human beings. Let's just be willing to listen to each other out. And if you do approach anyone with any questions, like, do it with curiosity and not with like attack. Because then that way you're more likely to go in to get a genuine answer as well. And for me, like, I just wanted to understand. I wanted to get into this inside the brain of a man. And I don't think he really, I don't know, maybe it was a valid reason, but like, he was just like, I was busy and then I didn't want to message you because I knew you'd respond this way. I left it too late. And I was just like, yeah. And also I feel like, when that situation happens and you have that opportunity, like when the ghost reappears in your life, it's actually such a good opportunity for you to then show the universe and the world what you are worthy of. Because sometimes replying and naming, I am not aligned with someone who's going to ghost me. If you want to see me, this isn't aligned with me. You are putting this out there. You are calling it out. You're telling the universe, this is what I am worthy of. This is something what I am not going to accept. And you're naming it. Whereas if you you just ignore, I don't think you're really necessarily getting that opportunity to practice that. And if you reply like, oh my God, yes, I'd love to see you, then you're then showing the universe and that person that you accept being ghosted. And that is what you are worthy of, which no one is. whether you're a boy or a girl. Like, you're just not. Like, we are all worthy of being seen and being heard and just being people. Okay, so my advice on how to deal with ghosting, if it happens in the dating app world and you haven't met the person, I honestly just think it's a matter of reminding yourself that most people, including yourself, are probably just treating people as a little bit disposable. Not everyone has the capacity to be speaking to, in fact, most people don't, romantically to like 8+ people, which I think is how many conversations Hinge allows you to have. I don't know. Just reminding yourself like that is the dating world. It's not a reflection of you. And yeah, just build that resilience. Sometimes in order to build resilience, we have to put ourselves in situations where we do get triggered a little bit. And this is something I have avoided for quite a lot of my dating life, and probably why I haven't been dating that much, because I've been too scared to get triggered, because I'm someone who is very anxious when it comes to relationships. So I've just avoided getting triggered. But something I've realized recently is like, you actually have to put yourself in situations, not huge situations, but it's almost like exposure therapy, like where you do get triggered tiny little bit, so that you can practice regulating your emotions and regulating how you're going to deal with being triggered, basically. And if you have been on a date with someone and then whatever happens after, and then they ghost you, they don't give you an explanation, it's hard, but let yourself be upset. It's okay. And also just remind yourself that it is not a reflection of you. Again, like that is the most important thing. It is never about you. It is always about the other person. And also good riddance. Like, they have shown you their true colors. Do you actually want to continue further with someone like that? No, you deserve so much better. So make those your reminders, your affirmations, and hopefully you'll be good. So that brings me to the end of my ghosting rant, I feel. I would really love to know, though, what are people's views and thoughts. So if you've listened to this podcast episode, please drop me a DM at Pink Juice Pod. Is it at Pink Juice Pod or is it at Pink Juice Podcast? Guys, I don't even know. I've literally set this up like a few days ago. Pink Juice Pod, at Pink Juice Pod. And just let me know your thoughts. Like, what have you had this? Have you had someone ghost you? How did it make you feel? Have you ghosted? Why have you ghosted? Because please just all remember that this is just me sat in a room with a camera just talking about my opinion on something. It doesn't mean it's right, it's wrong. This is just what I think, what I believe. If it resonates, cool. If it doesn't, that's fine. Take what you want. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. This is a completely brand new podcast. I've been so nervous to record these, but I feel like it feels a lot more exciting now that this is episode 2 and I'm talking about these things. So yeah, I would really appreciate and love it if you could help me out and just subscribe, follow this podcast. So yeah, I really appreciate it. And we are not finished yet, because it is time for Fill Your Cup. So what is one thing that I have done recently to fill my own cup? And I feel like, I don't know if this is a bit materialistic or not, but I went for a blow dry. And oh my God, there is something so incredible about getting a blow dry. Like, my confidence was through the roof. I don't know why. Like, it's not something I ever really do because I have curly hair, but I just felt so good after. And I was like, I need to start doing little micro things like that more often, because like, you don't need to have a fancy reason for a blow dry. We can actually just celebrate ourselves as human beings for existing. And if you fancy getting a blow dry, why the hell not? Like, why the hell not? So that's what I did. And I felt so good after. My cup was very full. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this podcast episode, and make sure that you subscribe, you follow, and also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Pink Juice Pod, because I want to hear your juice. I want to hear you spill your juice. So thank you. Right. We done, baby.